Hey everybody, welcome back to Candlelight Stroll, where we profile paranormal hotspots in the tri-state area. Here with your hosts, Marcus D.
And Vic Whateley. Okay, guys, put on your furriest pair of pants and your nicest set of goat horns, because today we're talking about the Pope Lick Monster.
Tucked away in Louisville, Kentucky, you're going to find the Pope Lick Creek. By the Pope Lick Creek, you find the Pope Lick Bridge, and that's the birthplace of the legend of the Pope Lick Monster.
The Pope Lick Monster is a goat-human hybrid described similarly to other goatmen sighted throughout the United States. Accounts do differ on how goat and how human this creature is, but everyone describes it as being a truly terrifying creature. This creature is known to haunt the Pope Lick Trestle, which is a terrain bridge going over a small area. It seems to be drawn there by the presence of humans exploring the area, and is known to lure people up onto the bridge, using tricks of mimicry, and possibly even mind control. Many claim to have the sensation of being lured to the top of the bridge, and there are those who have even found their deaths up there, either by train or by the goat man himself. So Marcus, what do people say about the origin of this creature?
The creature's origin stories vary depending upon who you talk to. Some say that a circus captured the creature up in Canada, and while on a train in the area, the train derails, crashing, and the creature escapes. Sometime around the late 19th century, and the Pope Lick Monster just found its way to this bridge and remained there to this day. Other people say that the Pope Lick Monster is a farmer within the local area, making weird satanic sacrifices in exchange for power. And as Vic and his kin would say, this creature could also be the byproduct of an unholy union between a farmer and his goat.
Yeah, that's about how I'd say it. So Marcus, does the history support any of this?
I'm not really finding much to the history of there being some sort of a train crash with circus folk and then this thing escaping. You'd think that would be something that would be kind of like more popular news in there, something that would be easier for people to point to about this. And with the story of it being a circus creature that escapes around the late 19th century and escapes and then comes down to the bridge, the problem with that part of the story is that the bridge wasn't actually constructed until about the 1920s. But I know that part can be boring. We're going to talk about the history of the actual bridge itself. You guys are probably more interested in the lore, so Vic, what does the lore say that this could be?
Well, one of the problems with this, there's almost too many things in the lore that fits this general description. I'm just going to kind of go over them kind of quick. You've got satyrs that fit a good general description of this sort of creature. You have another creature from Central Eastern Europe called a leshy that does. Europe's also rich with various mythologies of horned gods. There's plenty of myths of skinwalkers, and many aspects of this story fit skinwalkers as well. There's also the symbol Baphomet, and the Baphomet is also very similar to the description given of this creature. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
So Vic, when I'm thinking about typical things that I know of in folklore, of things that use like their voice or try to use songs to lure us for things, or even just using their voice for things, I get a lot of female archetypes that come up. I'm getting mermaids, muses, sirens. I'm not drawing a lot of like male archetypes. Is that normal or?
It's true that there's a lot of mythology out there, things like nymphs and naiads and things like that. They'll utilize lyrics or vocal commands to lure someone in. But in a more traditional sense, there's plenty of masculine sort of entities as well that utilize tricks of mimicry, tricks of confusion or discord, or things along those lines, utilizing their voice to lure someone in or to set someone up, or simply just to confound someone.
Like what?
Well, for example, vampires, fae, skinwalkers, all these are of that sort of kind.
So could this be some sort of like undiscovered like biological creature, like some sort of animal, kind of like Bigfoot that maybe we're just looking for out in the woods?
Well, it's not very likely. One of the problems is humanoids are not particularly known for being or for having horns. Also, based on the posture, humans are basically put in two different categories, either robust or Grassians, and Its posture strikes me kind of like a Grassian humanoid. That would mean it's probably not going to have anything bizarre going on in the head region, and there's not a lot of animals that share any sort of bovine/humanoid traits.
And I think that if it was, I think similar to Bigfoot stories, we would see more stories about people encountering this thing in the public area, like out in the community. Like, I know sightings of similar types of creatures to this in Texas, they're all over the place. But in the public region, primarily we're seeing these stories around the bridge and not just out and about in the public community.
Yeah, it seems to have a very limited range. It's in a crossroads-like area. Everything would imply that we're looking at something more spiritual, not biological.
I think we could sit around and speculate like all day long about what we think the public monster could be, but we're gonna try to like surmise this. What do you think this is, Vic?
If I was going to nail this as being one specific sort of entity, I'd classify it as some aspect of a skinwalker. Yeah, there are a lot of other accounts of there being goat men out there in different places, but I'd say many of them follow a similar sort of guideline, a similar sort of behavior that's fairly similar to skinwalkers. It's using tricks of the voice to lure people in. It will mimic other sounds, trying to get you closer. It's trying to get you to an isolated place that's away from other people who might be able to give you support. But what I will say is I think this is the sort of entity that likely could exist, primarily because this may be an isolated occurrence of it, but there are other examples you can find of this sort of entity, this sort of goat-man creature, throughout the United States. And I think that's going to be an excellent subject for a later video. But you're being awfully quiet over there, Marcus. What's your thoughts on it?
For me, the things that stand out to me most are the human-esque aspects of this creature and the location. You have a bridge over, and I don't think we actually talked about it, it's over a stream of water that's at the very bottom of this bridge. And when you're dealing with things like a crossroads, near water under a bridge, and you're having to deal with human aspects of it, I keep going back to this idea of maybe this is some sort of human that's made some sort of a Faustian bargain with something. Maybe it's demonic, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's fake. I don't know. But I think that there's some sort of a human element involved in this. So now when it comes to people, ending up hurt or ending up dead, because of this entity, I don't know if this is some sort of compulsory act that this thing is being driven to. I don't know if it's part of the deal that it made, that the entity is making this thing do. But what concerns me is what was it willing to get in exchange for this? Like, what would someone need that badly to be driven to this sort of a deal? But as Vic often makes me be, I have to be the bearer of bad news on this for those paranormal investigators wishing to go investigate the Popelic Bridge. But the Popelic Bridge is a very dangerous place to investigate. 3 people have died that we know of investigating the Popelic Bridge. First off, it's actually illegal for people to go and walk along this bridge. There's a fence that's around the entire area, and most people, when they go out to even look and investigate this place, even from the outside, have described seeing police cars in the area around at the same time. And when you're out there and you actually see this bridge, even people that live there don't realize that this bridge is actually used. Like, it looks abandoned when you go out and look at it, but it's actually, there's a train that comes along at about 15 to 25 times a day. The bridge itself is about 800 feet long, and it takes a train about half a mile to stop. Meaning it takes a train 3 times the length of this bridge to stop if they see you on this bridge. So it's not going to happen. And second, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to hang off the side of the bridge. I'm just going to jump down, hold on for dear life if a train comes. Actually, if you do that, there's very few people that have the upper body strength to do this because of how violently the bridge shakes when it goes along, and you're going to be holding on for about 5 to 7 minutes. So if you guys do choose to go out there, don't jump over the fence. No legend's worth your life.
Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in to our most recent episode of Candlelight Strolls.
If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe it. If there's a video that you guys really want us to do, please leave it in the comments. We love feedback from you guys, and we love ideas out there to be pitched to us.
And if you guys know any rare bits of lore or interesting parts of your local mythology, please let us know. We just might do a video about it.
But don't forget, keep believing.
Because we'll keep listening.